Welcome to my channel. We have this question: find integral of this function, and we have the upper boundary and the lower boundary. So if you look at the questions, this is a product of two items, this one and this one. In that case now, this calls for integration by parts. Okay, so where the differentiable function will be this one. So let u be equal to what? This function, and then the v is equal to what? The theta. We have to differentiate this u respect to theta. So I want to start from here to explain to us how we can do this differentiation. Don't forget that the y is equal to arcsec x, okay, your dy dx will be equal to what? 1 over x times what? Square root of what? X squared minus 1. Here is a multiple of what you have outside here, okay? So in that case now, your du will be equal to what? 1 over what you have here, the function here, that's the square root of theta, times square root of theta squared, that's your x squared, then minus what? Minus 1. And that does not stop there, times what? Derivative of what? Of this inner function. And now I will use a square root of this, I will use a prime. Then for this one, integrate this. So v is equal to what? V is equal to theta. If you differentiate this one, the derivative of this one, the first thing you have to do is to remove the square root, and that will be what? Theta to power half. Okay, so differentiate that. If you differentiate that, the half will go to the front, 1 over 2, times theta half minus 1, that's what? Minus half. So in this case now, we're having 1 over 2 times this minus is what? Is 1 over, okay, theta to power half, which is what? Square root of what? Square root of theta. So the u now, here, the theta, so the u will be equal to 1 over this one times this one squared, that will be theta minus 1, and then times, we have value for this one, which is what? Okay, so we can combine this one and this one together, and that will be equal to what? That will be equal to 1 over this one, root theta times root theta, that's theta, times 2, that's 2 theta, times what? Square root of what? Theta minus 1, the what? The theta. Okay, so that's the u for this function. Okay, so the next thing to do now is to begin to use the formula for integration by parts, and I've given the first in one of the video on integration by parts 8.2, section 8.2, that is the formula for integration by parts. I'm going to call this question, I'm going to give it symbol I. So we're having now I equal to, my u is what? My u is arcsec theta. My v is what? My v is theta minus, indicate your upper and the lower boundary. Integral of v, my v is what? My v is theta times du. Du is what? 1 over 2 theta times square root of theta minus 1 the theta. So this one and this one we cancel. So we're now having now theta arcsec, this function indicates your upper and the lower boundary. So minus integral of what? These two, this 1 over 2 can come outside the integration, okay? Then you have what? 1 over what? Theta, square root of theta minus 1 d theta, okay? So I'm quickly upper and the lower. So let's quickly integrate this one. This 1 over these square roots, we can write it as what? As this to power minus half, okay? So if you integrate this respect to the function, the half, the minus half plus 1, that's what? That's a theta minus 1 to power half. All over what? 1 over what? 1 over 2. So that will be times 2. 1 over 2 times 2. That one cancels, that's 1. So we now have now theta indicate your upper and the lower boundary minus what? Minus theta square root of what? Theta minus 1. Upper and lower boundary. So we can now begin to substitute now the upper boundary. So that will be 4 arcsec root 4, that's 2, minus the lower boundary now, 2 arcsec root 2. So I'm through with this one now. Then come back here. So minus 4 minus 1, that's what? That's root 3. Then the lower boundary minus 2 minus 1, that's what? That's root 1. And root 1 is what? It's 1. So minus 1. So that finished that. So if you open this bracket here, this will be minus root 3, and this will be what? Minus, that's plus 1. So we now have now 4 arcsec 2 minus 2 arcsec root 2, okay, and then minus root 3 plus 1. So that's the answer for this. So please, at this point, if you are new on the channel, kindly click on the watermarks on the video, subscribe, click on like button, and begin to type your comments. Okay, thank you for doing that.